from the dead.
Right. You're gonna open it on your computer so you can test the audio. Use that 1070.
Yeah, for freaking web browser, yeah. So worth it.
Yeah, it is. Oh. No.
Especially since Hayden doesn't want to play games anymore.
He brought his laptop over here earlier and he was like, "Oh, I suck on computers." And I was like, "Oh."
Do what?
He brought his laptop over here earlier. Oh, the mic's live too.
What?
He brought his. We were playing Rocket League earlier, and he was having a hard time hitting stuff. And he's like, "I can't do this on laptops."
Intriguing.
You could tell.
Oh, you didn't bring his controller?
No, you did. He said something like the angle of the monitor is. Yeah, it's the same. It's like the same setup this has, but it's a Core i5 instead of a Core i7.
Is that it?
All right, testing. Michael, say something.
Well, don't scream into the mic.
Oh, just did.
My God, leave it where it's gonna be.
All right, testing.
Oh my God,
so
kill yourself.
Okay, I think audio is good.
Is that where it's? Well, we're about to find out.
Okay, we're gonna. Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I think that's fine. If we just
screw your frickin'.
what?
You. Okay, there we go. Okay, camera's live.
No.
Oh,
Don't look at my hair. It's disgusting.
You've always been disgusting.
All right. Sponsor. Oh my God. Don't show anybody.
All right, guys, welcome back to another Caffeine and Octane Pre-Show podcast. We got a couple stories to cover tonight. I'm joined by Michael, as always. The man, the myth, the legend, the buzzcut glory. Now, he doesn't have that flock of seagulls anymore like he did about a month ago.
Mom calls me a Q-tip.
Your mom called you a Q-tip?
Yeah.
No, sorry, I had to laugh at that. That was funny.
Tip is always the best.
But anyway, we've got
Rug burn.
Anyway, as I was saying, we have quite a few stories to cover tonight. A lot of really interesting stuff to cover, that one of which pertains to both of us in a way, and the rest of which are kind of interesting stuff. Originally, Hayden was going to join us for this, but he had to go home and deal with some stuff, so that's why he's not here. The second story, if you look at the title of the stream, was primarily he chose that story. We're still going to cover it, but just keep in mind that was something he chose and something he's interested in. And if he's in the chat, he'll probably chime in.
You should have called him on Skype to see if he wanted to do it, because he said he might do it, and you didn't tell him that we started. So
that's a good point. I probably should have. I mean, he's probably the one viewer. He always is the one viewer.
I'm on the stream.
Okay.
So text him real quick.
Oh.
Hurry up. Anyway, so so Ford is no longer. They for sure discontinued sedans.
Yes, they have.
So interesting. Yeah, so that sucks. No more Taurus, no more Fusion.
No more Focus.
That's a sedan?
The Focus sedan and the Fiesta as well. Are
they keeping the hatch?
I'm not sure. I think they're just keeping the Focus active, which is supposed to be like that crossover. It's supposed to replace it.
I just don't see them getting rid of it, all of them, and not replacing them with something.
Yeah.
They have to. There's no way that. Hang on, let's look this up real quick.
Like, especially with the Fusion. The Fusion was I thought the Fusion was a great selling car. I didn't think it was that bad. I guess it just wasn't meeting Ford's expectations, is what it was, really. I thought it was a good selling car. I'm not big on the Fusion. I'm not big on like those family sedans that Ford makes. Like, I'm not a big Taurus egghead like he is. I'm not a big Fusion egghead like he is. I'm not a big Focus.
I don't really care for the Fusion. I mean, they're cool and all. They're just really small. They don't have good motors.
I'm not a big fan of the Focus like sedan and stuff. I'm all about like the hatches and stuff. You know, like the ST and the RS, which I believe are also getting kicked as well. I'm pretty sure that part of that was Ford was going to kill off the Focus ST and the RS as well.
Interesting.
We all knew the RS was limited production. It was going to go out of production anyway. But not this soon. We thought it would be like 2020 until that went out of production.
Okay, so
No, speaking of Hayden, here he is. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this back up so you guys can hear him as well.
Music going on or something?
Think, maybe not.
Who's gonna listen?
Oh, saw it in. Well, let me switch the speakers out to.
No, you're gonna have echo.
Maybe not. Okay, Hayden, can you hear me? Hello. Okay, there he is. Okay, so I'm gonna set the desktop audio to my speaker so you guys can hear him.
But it's still
There we go.
good through your mic, though.
Maybe not. We have it way over here. And I don't have the volume turned up that loud, so.
Interesting.
Okay. So we were talking about the Ford sedan stuff. Would you like to chime in on that, Hayden?
Stupid.
So right here I have some statistics. So let's see, midsize. Okay, I'm just gonna go based off the graph. So this may not be accurate, but sedans made up like 60% of their sales. So let's see, in the beginning of 2017, they sold around 11,000 trucks and around 7,000 cars. So they're making up half their sales. So they're gonna lose half their revenue.
Yeah.
Cutting out cars, so they have to be replacing it with something else.
Yeah, they may be making another thing that Matt Moran pointed out on his weekly update series. He talked about that the Maverick nameplate is being resurrected.
Maverick.
That was a car that Ford made in the '70s. It wasn't really that popular, and most of the ones out on the road today are scrapped. But they brought back the trademark for it. There's a trademark filed for it, and something called a Timberline, which they think is going to be a like a trim level for like the Bronco and the Ranger.
That thing?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Kind of like a Mustang chassis mate kind of thing. I think Hayden knows more about the Maverick than I would, probably. Hayden? Seems like we're having some technical difficulties, but
I think your internet's freaking out.
probably. But basically, yeah, it's kind of interesting that Ford's shutting out their sedans. It's kind of sad because we had the SHO. The SHO is a pretty good sleeper car. It's not like I've said before.
And it responded to bolt-ons.
Yes.
That car responded to bolt-ons very well.
Yeah, it's like the perfect thing to. It's like
and stock transmission can hold
way more than yours.
Yeah.
Like we had that was really the only performance sedan they made, I think, because they never made anything out of the Focus sedan.
They had the Fusion Sport. I don't know if it was really meant for performance, but
I think they just wanted. I think that was just a gimmick. It's not like how the SHO was.
Yeah.
It wasn't if it had been the SHO was designed by the same team, I believe, that did the GT500. So it wasn't it was kind of same formula that they used the GT500.
Ford would only have the Mustang.
Yeah.
At that point, as their performance car, unless they came back with a Lightning or something.
Yeah, which that one dealership did.
Yeah, that one dealer did. Yeah.
Which ironically, one of my neighbors worked for them. You remember? One of my neighbors worked for the Ford dealership that had the new Lightning, and it was very, very interesting talking to her. And she didn't even. I don't even think she knew it existed. I think she was completely clueless that thing was there. But basically, yeah, it's sad, but they really didn't lose much on the performance aspect of things. Just the SHO. Everything else was kind of eh.
Yeah.
Because they never did anything with the Focus or the Fiesta sedans. They never made an ST variant of those. They never did any sort of crazy performance variants of the standard Focus. It was just the ST and the RS that got any sort of love. So that's kind of one thing. I think that kind of covers that story. Do you have anything you want to add? Much less you're disappointed?
No.
I mean, granted, as a Taurus owner, he knew that the end of the Taurus was near.
No, I mean, yeah, nobody buys Tauruses.
Because they have the Fusion, and if they don't buy a sedan, they usually go for something like the Edge or the Escape, or the Explorer.
And if they want performance, they'd either go Mustang or ST or RS cars.
The SHO itself was declined.
Yeah, the SHO. I mean, everybody saw it. Oh, it's a Taurus. Oh, okay. Well, I don't care what the trim level is. They all look the same.
It's kind of like how it's got Buick stigma now. Buick, the Taurus, like as Hayden said in the past. You think of a Ford Taurus, you think of Grandpa.
Oh yeah.
Or my mom in the one kid she owned a Taurus.
That's different though.
Yeah.
That's a completely different car.
Yeah, it was the old crappy one. So it's got Buick syndrome now. It's like everyone looks at a Taurus and like, oh, only my granddad's gonna drive one of those. Yeah, unless you're him.
And really, the car community is only towards like imports. Like, there's not.
Yeah, I mean,
There's not. It's either you get a yacht or you get an import. Yeah. Basically, Mustangs are. I mean, they're bigger cars.
But they're not.
Challengers
massive.
are gigantic. Chargers are gigantic. Freaking.
Dodge and their freaking land yachts.
Freaking the Grand Cherokee SRT, massive car.
That's not even a cruise ship. That's a barge.
That's. It needs a foghorn, is what it needs.
Yeah. But I mean, he does have a point. The car community is mostly import. I mean, there's a lot of. There's muscle guys here and there. Like me and Hayden are both kind of like torn in the middle. We like both sides of the spectrum, equally, sort of. Actually. Oh, there's Hayden. I think he's watching. I heard something that sounded like our voices in the background. I think he's watching the stream.
How do you hear that?
I don't know. But
you can't even hear me whisper to you.
I don't know. But I think that kind of covers that story. We're gonna move on to the one that Hayden's probably been waiting to get into. Porsche, their 4-liter flat 6 is getting an update, and they're gonna be raising the rev limiter to 9,500 RPM. And
it's gonna be so sick.
If you guys don't know Hayden already, you'll know the last video uploaded. He bought a S2000, which is notorious, especially the AP1, which is what he did pick up, for its 9,000 RPM rev limiter. And now Porsche is trying to one-up what the AP1 was, because I believe up until, I think actually, even today, it still is one of the highest revving cars ever produced, the AP1. I don't think there are many, if any, road cars that rev higher than an S2000.
Mm-hmm. No.
So I would assume that like Porsche is just trying to get ahead. Oh gosh. So that's kind of that. So I believe they're only going to use this on the 911 GT3. I don't think they're going to use it on any other car that's 4-liter engine. It's interesting that yet another company is using a 4-liter. We've seen how companies have been in the past with 4-liters. Him being a Jeep 4-liter owner, me being a Ford 4-liter owner. We know exactly how 4-liters have gone the complete opposite of where they want to go.
What do you mean? The Jeep 4-liter was really good.
It's not.
It was just their transmission. Oh, they're
No,
not.
it was shit, dude. What?
The transmission.
And he knows all about the Ford 4-liter, and I can tell you all day that they're not fast. I mean, the advantage with those 4-liters though is that they were built for durability. They weren't meant to be powerhouse engines. Neither of our engines.
Yeah.
But this 911 motor is gonna be like, it's gonna be a whole new world, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually like. I like the 911's one of those weird cars that not a lot of people like anymore because of its status. It's like it's like the supercar no one wants to buy kind of thing. Like when I go to supercar shows, I never see 911s. Like you'll see a couple. I'm not saying you don't see any at all. Like having an Octane, there's quite a few of them, but you'll see more of the cheaper Porsches like the Boxster and the Cayman than you will the 911. I mean, plus it doesn't have the price tag. The price tag on the 911 is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. They're like $200,000 cars with just a base Carrera, to my knowledge. I may be wrong. I'm not good with math, so.
Oh, up in Tennessee, there's a Trackhawk running around. Trying to get a review going on.
Hey.
Psych.
Oh,
dude, it's so cool though.
But that brings us into our third story. We'll probably cover a few more because this Michael's on auto week right now, looking for stories to cover, I guess.
I saw the Grand Cherokee on here, and I was like,
We're going to go into our third story, and this one was another one that me and Hayden picked together. Hyundai has announced that they're using the Tucson as a platform for like a unibody truck, similar to how the Ridgeline is and how the Sport Track and the Avalanche were before it. But Hyundai wants to jump in. And Hayden being a former Hyundai owner and me being an SUT owner, we're like, oh, this is interesting. Kind of like the best of both worlds clashing a little bit. So. Hayden, I'm going to let you start off since this was part of your decision. Hayden? I don't think you can hear us.
you're having a
Technical difficulty again?
Yeah, a little bit.
Son of a gun. Alright, well, I guess I'll kick off. Hyundai is really doing something interesting with this. I'm really interested to see how this goes because SUTs as a market have just died off. The Sport Track went out of production in 2011. The Avalanche, I think, followed pretty soon after because when you look at both of those trucks, oh gosh, it's really plain.
Stupid channel trailers.
When you look at both the Avalanche and the Sport Track, you look at them and you're like, well, if I'm gonna buy a truck, I'm just gonna buy the F-150 or the Silverado. And the Avalanche, I believe, was more destined. To be honest, as bad as this is gonna sound, especially me being a Ford owner, I thought the Avalanche was destined to fail from the beginning because they're using the Suburban chassis, which is just a Silverado. So it's basically just a shorter bed Silverado that costs about the same. So it's like you get guaranteed, you get a crew cab guaranteed, but at the same time, it's like you could have just bought a Silverado and you'd be in the same exact place you are now. So I never understood the Avalanche. And Sport Track, I mean, I understood a bit more. Again, though, a lot of people who look to buy Sport Tracks are like, I'm just going to buy the F-150 and get it over with. So, the only SGT left is the Ridgeline. The Ridgeline, is based off the Pilot, and it's been pretty successful. But this one with Hyundai is going to be interesting because Hayden and I were talking about it earlier. We don't know what kind of power plant they're going to choose. We don't know if they're going to do, like Hayden was saying earlier, they started a 3.3 turbo engine. Recently, Hyundai did. They unveiled it. I think it's the same motor Kia uses in the Stinger, because they're under the
It's
same.
a 3.3.
Yeah.
That's a V6. Yeah, that's a V6. Yeah.
As well, there was another engine that was primarily mentioned. Hayden mentioned something about the 5-liter out of the Genesis, the sedan. That'd be a very interesting.
In the
engine.
truck, in the truck we're talking about.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Of course, there being an SUT, literally that'd be so
That'd probably
weird.
be like another option for it.
Yeah, they'd be like how the Adrenaline was in the Sport Track, kind of.
You
thing.
get a V6 or, it's like the current F-150.
Yeah, you get a V6 or V8. That'd be interesting. But Hayden, do you have anything you want to chime in on this?
All right, I got my shit figured out. It's freaking out. What were we talking about?
The Hyundai truck.
Oh, that thing's gonna be weird.
Is there any pictures of it?
There are renderings of it. It's like a Hyundai Tucson truck. You spelled Hyundai wrong. It's H-Y.
Well, yeah, I know that. Well, I don't know that, but still, Hyundai.
You guys think I'll have a V8 option?
I think it'd be interesting.
Yeah, that's what we were saying from the Genesis, the 5.0.
Yeah, I'm curious of what they'll put in it. I have zero idea.
I think that's kind of a rendering.
Please, no.
Yeah, that's renderings of it.
Oh my god, disgusting.
I don't think they can see it.
They might be able to.
The might IPS display.
Oh, I wish you had your thing on here. Let's put this up here so that
The
you can see
OBS.
what I'm doing in real time.
Yeah, so that's kind of you get the idea of that from just by looking at this picture of Michael showing on screen. It's an interesting looking truck for sure. Like we said, we have no clue if Hyundai's actually going to go through this, but it's been something that they seem to have been tossing around forever now.
So what is that? That's like a mix. What's that car right there? What's that one?
That's the Tucson. Or the Santa Fe. One of the two. It's
So it's that with the rear end chopped off and made into a truck bed type thing. So basically like a sport drag.
basically yes.
But not like a. It's weird, dude. It's so weird.
Yeah, it really is. It's such an interesting car.
I really hope they just like come up with something new altogether.
Like just a completely new platform.
Yeah.
Instead of doing an SUT bullcrap.
Dude, what if they made it a 2-door?
That'd be so weird.
That's what it
That'd
is on this
be weird.
rendering.
I know, but like, what if they end up doing it?
Yeah,
Because that shit died off from the early 2000s. The
Yeah.
2-door SUVs.
Yeah, I mean the Explorer Sport died pretty.
Oh,
quick.
there's that one doesn't look too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't look good, but it doesn't look bad. It's a
to
four-door.
me, it looks just like a Ridgeline. Like
A
the new
Ridgeline?
Yeah, it looks just like the new Ridgeline.
Intriguing.
Like that's the look I get out of that. It looks like a Ridgeline. Because like the cab design literally just screams brand
Isn't
new
the Ridgeline more like squared off?
A little bit, yeah. My uncle actually owned one. He had a Sport Track and he bought a Ridgeline. Don't like that. The Sport Track's better than the Ridgeline.
Sorry, I gotta finger my keyboard.
High-end
No, it's not.
I'm
Oh,
sure
it's a Hyundai.
The Ridgeline's a Honda.
Honda.
It's got VTEC. Actually, no. The Ridgeline never did have VTEC.
Ridgeline didn't have VTEC?
No, they had like the.
Oh, nasty.
I think they had like the single cam motor.
Lame.
Wait, what year is that one?
That's the new one.
Okay, so it is pretty much
This is
the
the
same
old
thing.
one. That's the new one.
So okay, so it's pretty much the same thing then, yeah.
See, the Hyundai rendering looks just like that.
Yeah.
Just with the just with the front end changed.
Huh.
So Michael, did you find any other things you want to cover?
Not. So just basically off this dude's. So there's a where was it? Have you talked about the Audi's eliminated body roll with active suspension?
I haven't. I've never even
It's
seen
interesting. It's basically like it's an airbag system,
So it's like air guide, but it's meant
but
to
it's individually adjustable. So whenever you go around a turn, they'll pump up one side to.
be interesting.
So that way you're always level with the ground.
So is it a bag system you like?
No.
We were in the right track. He was. It sounded like he was about to say, "I like."
I don't know. It's probably, if it's factory, it's probably decent. You know, they're especially if it's in a performance car.
They better let you air it out.
Yeah.
You know, actually, the Lincoln Mark 8 came with bags in the factory, and a lot of people because you know it's an old car now.
The new
Mark
trucks also come with bags.
Yeah.
Some of them,
Some
anyway.
of them do. It's like an
In
option.
the rear, though, to adjust the height of the truck beds. You
Yeah.
have to lift everything
We
up
actually, me and Hayden today, we saw a Avalanche that was towing like a heavy trailer. Thing was dead like that.
Yeah.
And I was
Well, that's
like,
another thing. That's another thing that's good for trucks too. For hauling trucks,
Yeah.
is they can adjust it.
Like I believe my dad's Peterbilt actually has air ride on the back to keep the trailer to keep it from squatting down.
Yeah. Let's see. There's an electronic supercharger that's
always-
not built into the intake, like what you just stick in there and hope it does something.
That jank stuff.
It's an actual turbo
But it's
type system,
like it's built off the battery.
but it's running off of a motor
I would still think though it's still gonna suck power from the battery. It's just not gonna help anything.
to make the alternator work harder. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works.
I don't understand like electronic superchargers. Like it's funny when I was first getting into the whole modifying car scene. I was when I was supposed to have the Kia, and I was like finding a way to try to boost the Kia because it's an older Kia. Like the modern Kias have a huge aftermarket, but those older 05 models they don't have jack for an aftermarket. And I went online. And I was like ways to boost a 2005 Spectre 5. First thing that comes up is electric superchargers and like the kind you stick in the intake. I was like, okay, this seems interesting, and I literally almost bought one because this was before I really got into like the whole way mechanics work. What's up, Magnum? This was before I got into the whole way mechanics work, and I was like, maybe this actually does something. And then this was actually where
I'm sure it can put maybe like half a psi in.
Maybe. But this was about the same time I found about That Dude in Blue. It was about the video he did, like 9 worst car mods you can do, and the honorable mention was electric superchargers. And I was like, oh, so they're crap.
Yeah.
So I changed my mind on it, and eventually I came up with that if I kept the car, if I hadn't gotten the Sport Track, I was just going to put an autocross setup on it. And I was going to put coilovers, a better clutch in that car, and I was just going to go to town on the track. I didn't really plan on really, getting another car out of it, but everything worked out pretty well, I think.
I can't load anything now.
Well, nice. But anyway, that's interesting. Another one I wanted to talk about was the Infinity Variable Combustion Engine.
Good.
The Infinity Variable Compression Engine.
Oh,
that thing is so weird.
Yeah, I just don't see. That would take a lot of force for that to, because it's basically like a knee system.
Yeah.
That instead of it being a solid connecting rod.
Oh, Hayden, they're calling your mom. But we timed out probably.
He said his thing was freaking out.
Still playing through my freaking.
Let's see.
We're gonna try to get that call back online with him.
What company?
Infinity is doing it. We're gonna try to get that Skype back up. I don't know if y'all can hear it. Okay, y'all can't hear it. Trying to dial.
Variable compression.
It's not like it's going nuts. My phone just went off. Oh, he's messaging me.
Is it freaking out?
Yeah, he said his internet's freaking out. Okay, so we'll just.
All right, here we go.
He'll call us back whenever he gets the chance. But what was you about to say?
All right, so that thing would have to resist a lot of force. Let's see if I can't pull it up on a separate. So this is what one piston the whole system would look like, basically.
I think they said they're gonna use it like a V6. I think not a V6. I think it was an inline 3. It was gonna be their first engine to test it on.
So that's the connecting rod system right in that area, and that's the piston up here. So that thing's gonna have to resist a lot of force to stay straight. Because if that thing moves while it's compressing, you're gonna lose a lot of power. You basically won't have a connecting rod at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that's gonna work out. That's gonna be a lot of problems long term life of the engine.
Yeah, it's gonna be sketchy to say the least. And like any engine, it's gonna get wear. Like you were saying, it gets torn up over time, and that's gonna cause a lot more of a headache.
A lot more stuff that's gonna have to be changed, and you really have to change your oil with all those moving parts inside of there.
Yeah,
you miss an oil change, that thing will probably burn up.
But I thought that it'd be interesting if they could do something like that for like the next Q car to replace the Q60. Because I know, I believe actually when that story first came out, I believe we actually mentioned it on a previous podcast. And
I thought we did too, and I didn't want to bring it up again, but yeah. So apparently it can go. They're trying to get it to provide compression from 8-to-1 and 14-to-1. So anywhere in there is where they're trying to get their compression down to.
Isn't the 14-to-1 like performance kind of stuff? We just
I don't really know a whole lot about
compression. Is Ford gonna make the like talking about the Ranchero, like the truck that they did that was like meant to be like the rival for the Chevelle or the Bronco? Because you're talking about the Bronco, yeah, they're bringing the Bronco back. I don't know about the Ranchero. I don't think they plan on bringing back the Ranchero. I think that market died off a long time ago. The Chevelle and the Ranchero. I think that all was like dead like before it even started. They didn't make the Chevelle and the Ranchero very long.
Huh. They're trying to get 260 horsepower out of it.
It's supposed to be like a 3-cylinder, isn't it?
I don't know.
That's what I read. They were going to start off with like a 3-cylinder.
Yeah, looks like it. It looks like a 3-cylinder. It's turbo.
Oh, no, a 4-cylinder turbo.
Oh, well, okay.
Well, that answers our question.
I guess it helps if you try not to look at a picture and you just read the title.
But, I guess we're going to move into the Q&A. If you guys have anything. Oh, wait, you got something?
Toyota's new dynamic force engine.
So many weird technologies coming out of the freaking Japanese these days.
Oh, and the Coyote 5.0, did you know it had 16 injectors?
It does?
The newest one, I think.
The Gen 3, I think now?
I don't know what it is, but one of them, I think it's the Coyote motor itself, has 16 injectors, according to Scotty Kilmer. So, yeah. So it's direct injected for performance, port injected to clean the back of the valves.
Interesting.
I'm going to look this up, actually, because I don't know for sure. I just, let's see.
But while he looks that up, this is we enjoy doing this podcast and all, but we were actually we ran into a few issues with this specific episode. We were originally planning on the airtime of 7 o'clock, and it was going to be me, Hayden, and then Michael was going to join us later on, but that didn't work out. I actually had already booted the stream up, and then I just decided I wasn't going to start on my own, so I left. I shut it down. And then I started the second time around 7:30, because he had just gotten here, but literally as soon as I started, my family was like, oh, food's ready, let's go eat, and I was like, crap. So I shut it down again. And now, here we are. So we ran into a few bugs with this one, but we got this episode started. Kaysen's not with us right now. He said he's going to be here a bit later. So he may not even make it before this podcast is over, but hopefully he will. We don't think he will, really. He's been out pretty late today. So, maybe he'll show up, maybe he won't. But we're not, we're not getting our crazy hopes up or anything. But, did you find anything? Oh, that's that's American Muscle. That's good stuff.
I don't know if it's the right 5.0 or not.
It's the Coyote. Or that gets the older one.
No, it's definitely not the older one.
Not the Windsor, but the older Coyote.
It's the newest one.
Stage 3, the or Gen 3, whatever it's called. So, but anyway, I guess while we're waiting on that, we're gonna go into the Q&A section. If you guys have any questions for us, we're more than happy to answer them at this time. So be sure to ask us what's up, and ask us some questions about what you guys want to see, what you guys want to talk to us about, and we'll answer some questions and stuff while he's loading this up. Because so Kaysen, if you're watching this, you're grounded for being late. Your girlfriend told me to tell you. Yeah, so if anyone has a question, fire away in the chat. We have it loaded up on the desktop right now, on the desktop. I mean, you know what I mean. I have it open in the browser, I have OBS open off to the side so I can see what's going on in real time. Did you find it yet?
Trying.
Port and direct injection. Escape. What the heck is
It's
these?
macro keys.
They look like
Like if I touch this one, like I can macro it to like porn or something. No, I'm just kidding. But you can.
He's not
like,
kidding.
You don't know.
I do know. I've known you for what, 7-8 years now.
So see if I press number 4, Steam opens up. Like 2, I think is web browser. 1 is mail.
Oh, nasty.
And 3, I don't know what that is.
Hey,
oh,
Toaster Irish is live.
Oh, I hate that kid.
Oh, lame. Yeah, he's so lame, isn't he?
Yeah, I know.
You know, does filler content videos.
I know,
with
right?
Like 3-minute videos supposed to be unveiling a car.
Yeah, man.
All right, so lame.
Get yourself. And if you press that, it changes colors to. You can make it go to different keys. So you technically have 15 different keys.
Your computer's screaming at you every time you hit that button.
Yeah, it's telling me that it changed.
Oh.
So.
Mine only is obnoxious when I hit the little ROG button, or whatever it's called.
GDI forward. See, that's what it looks like though.
Okay.
So it's port, go to the valves, and then it's direct injecting. So like under wide open throttle, it's probably direct injected, because you'll save a little bit of gas that way. But yeah.
So that's interesting.
And this is what that looks like. In case you're
curious. That's the Coyote, isn't it?
I don't know what engine this is, but
that's what you know so far about the Coyote.
That's what I thought I knew. I can't find anything about it.
I'm trying to think what's it called.
Apparently Ford does use direct injected cars, but I think that's just the 4 cylinders.
Yeah. You think that the rest are probably port injected?
Let's see. So ranging from all sizes, 2.7 to 5 liters. The F-150 Raptor GT supercar?
The Ford GT.
Oh, okay, yeah. Powered by the new 3.5 liter EcoBoost is equipped. Interesting.
Was my phone going off recently?
So that must be their fix for their bad valve thing.
Okay, and Ford's most recently announced application as far as the new 5-liter powered by the 2018 Mustang GT. So
where are you looking at? Oh,
right here, the last line.
Okay.
Blind.
So yes, the current Coyote is. Nasty!
The Gen 3 Coyote is whatever he was saying. So we finally
you sound like a Windex ball.
I know.
Why is it freaking out?
Because you laughed all over it. I really don't understand that button. Like the symbol on it. Just so dumb.
Oh, it's supposed to spell like aliens or something. I don't know. That's
so weird.
It's Alienware. I don't know.
So
yeah,
weird.
just ask them. I don't know. You go ahead and reset this thing because it's freaking out.
Thing looks like a crop circle.
You look like a crop circle.
You are a crop circle.
Oh God, that's my brightness.
Yeah. Come on now.
Okay, there we go.
Action theme, active theme.
Don't talk about it. Back up. Oh, it's red. Why is it red?
Your computer's just like dying on you right now.
Yeah,
that's like that MSI, just not as bad.
God, the MSI was terrible. I'm so mad that it didn't work out because this thing was an extra freaking stupid. Oh, here's the torque. I don't know. So you see the direct injection is relevant and higher.
Yeah.
Oh, it uses both direct and port injection and lower RPMs? Yeah, see, right there it is. The RPM, and then, yeah. So higher, beyond, like, a couple RPMs.
Maybe 4,000?
Probably. It'll use direct injection only. Direct injection. But that's a good way to fix the whole valve burning on to the gas or the oils. See, that another thing that they could have just done from the factory is just put a freaking catch can on it. That would probably have been a little bit cheaper than putting another fuel rail on it.
Probably.
But oh well. Ford does Ford.
They can be weird sometimes. You know, like killing off sedans.
Well, I mean, apparently freaking Mazda's the most used one out of all of them.
Yeah. I mean, they actually, if I remember what I read, the Cyclone motors, the 3.5 in particular, originated in the Mazdas. Like, that was the first application. Because this was back when Ford and Mazda were under the same umbrella. So, that's what I read, is like it first was used in some Mazda platforms before it made its way to the Taurus. And like the Flex and all that junk.
Let's see, the Ford, the Cyclone motor is basically the 3.5 and the 3.7.
1968 Cyclone motor.
Oh my God. Because I remember seeing Mazda around here somewhere. Mercury. Mercury.
Yeah, I remember when Mercury was still a thing. That was sad. Mercury was a pretty cool company. They made some weird cars.
What? Oh, it said Mercury Cyclone. What?
What?
So the 3.5 liter Duratec. Interesting.
So yeah, the 2007 CX-9 was one of the first cars to get it.
Yeah.
So it basically did originate as a Mazda engine, but it.
I don't know if it originated, but it was in.
It was one of the first cars to get it.
Yeah, 2007 is when they first did it, so they must have had like something.
The CX-9 basically is the original 3.5.
Which that one only had variable valve timing on the intake side. Whereas the current one, I think like 2013, it has variable valve timing on all 4 valves.
Yeah.
Per cylinder. So. And then the 3.7. So the 3.7 was also used in the 2008 and 9 Mazda cars.
I should go buy a Mazda 6 so I can try to beat my dad with it.
They only produced, get this,
270.
270.
And then the Mustang had 305. So.
Wait, it was TI VCT.
That's like, you're talking about how it only has it on one side.
Okay, so that's probably when
the TI motors are where it has them both. TI, like, great. Now I'm gonna start playing. Now I'm gonna have to play TI music over the stream. I'm gonna copyright claim it then. TI's a raptor. He's a rapper. He's a raptor. He's a raptor.
He's a Ford Raptor.
Yeah, he's a Ford Raptor.
With dual injection per cylinder.
TI's an Atlanta rapper. That's when I was saying a TI VCT, I was like.
And the 3.3 liter is also
that's a new one.
Cyclone motor.
That's a brand new motor.
It's a downsized version of the Duratec 3.5.
Well, direct injection.
35. 2018 Ford F-150.
Interesting.
Produces 290. Is that a 4-cylinder?
No, it's a V6.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Boy.
Yeah, because we were just talking about I don't know why I keep getting them jacked up on Mountain Dew. I thought it was.
Probably didn't you? You didn't drink Mountain Dew then?
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Like, you are jacked up Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Basically.
Pretty much.
If Mountain Dew was alcoholic.
Yeah.
Or is it? The world may never know.
Anyway.
But I guess we're gonna go ahead and close out this stream. We wanted to have this done earlier, and we didn't really plan on keeping this stream up for going for long because I'm running on very little sleep and I want to sleep. So we're gonna go ahead and call this off here. We're gonna wait on Casey to get here probably, and then I don't know what we're gonna do after that. So no, we're not gonna do that.
You don't know. Nobody knows what we're talking about right now. You can agree to it.
Basically. Michael's being awkward over here.
You're stupid.
Michael's being awkward over here.
Whatever.
But anyway, we're going to go ahead and call it. Thank you all so much for tuning into the stream. We'll catch you guys either tomorrow or Monday. I don't know. I may keep the trend going on working really hard on these Caffeine and Octane vlogs. And instead of uploading them late, I may upload them on Monday if it takes too long.
Late? Oh, late at night?
Yeah, because last Sunday, the last Caffeine and Octane vlog, 15, I think I uploaded that thing at like 9, 10 o'clock. And it didn't really get any views until the next day, and that's when it boomed. So I think we're gonna do something like that. We're gonna see if it wants to behave tomorrow, and or not behave, but I don't know what I was going with.
Do you speak English?
No, I don't. I speak.
I know I speak. What'd you say that for?
I speak stool.
I speak alien.
Oh gosh.
See?
He's not kidding. But anyway, I'm gonna try to get that vlog out as fast as I can. We still got to iron out some stuff about tomorrow because I don't know exactly what the plan is. We're gonna iron some stuff out, and hopefully it'll be a good turnout tomorrow. We're looking forward to it. It's gonna be a fun day. And anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning into the stream. I'll see you guys either tomorrow or Monday. I mean, unless you go to the event and you see me in person, you'll definitely see me tomorrow. But otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow night or Monday. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the stream.